The boys are back in town. Well, look at here. Look who it is. Ding dong.
Not my choice, I'll say that much.
Ooh, I bet. I'm sure for both of you.
Hey, community. Here's what's brewing today.
The boys are back in town.
Europe 8.
And Colbert gone? Damn, who next? So get your cups ready for Minority Report. Hey, welcome to Minority Report. Look who's back. It's Auntie Kerel.
It's Auntie Dawon.
And it's Auntie Jerrell. What's good?
Hey, the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
Baby.
Yo.
I've been
this
so
is
waiting
wild.
for this moment.
I know. It's like, damn. I've been over here just slaving away. Y'all
hold
over
on,
there
Hold on.
vacation.
You were, because you were over there
So,
in San Diego.
That's
Hey. Okay. So I don't even want to hear it, bitch. I don't even want to hear it. Okay? Look.
Auntie Kerel
okay?
was gone. She was gone to San Diego for how many days? 5 days? 4 days? 5 days?
Let's say 3.
see here. 4 days.
4 days.
4 days.
Like,
4 days.
like Thursday night to like Monday morning.
And we didn't talk to you. We ain't ask you nothing. I ain't even send you anything on Instagram. I was like, this bitch out in San Diego, I'm going to let her be. And when she come back, then I'm going to give her that smoke. But
Right.
you out there
Okay,
having
hold
a
on.
good time.
I gotta go back
huh?
to that dance real quick though, because when y'all
Yes.
was doing the ATL dance on the video, why y'all swim like y'all spreading cheeks though? Y'all go like this, and you know it, and they like, hey, and they go like this, but y'all like, bitch.
It's the gay version.
Look,
Gay
look,
remix.
eat booty hole. That's what that look like.
Like groceries, baby. And I forget why we even started doing that. I don't
Issa
even
face
remember
over in the
why.
background, like.
Just cause.
I know, Issa with the receipts. Oh, Lord. But even before we get to San Diego, y'all was on the European vacation. I was like, damn,
Ooh.
y'all was just over there. And then Jerrell got stuck over there. And so we were just like, damn, they ain't never coming back.
And
You know what?
honestly, the universe were trying to keep my black ass over there. That's what that was. Okay. And tell you, and I answered the call. I was ready. Like, look,
Yeah, I get it. I don't blame you.
I was like, Grandma, you're gonna have to get this final leg by yourself. I'll get you on the plane, but somebody gonna be waiting for you at the gate. Cause child.
Oh, Lord. What were you saying, Dawon?
I forgot.
So it was going to be a drive-by.
You know why? Because she started reminiscing about Europe too.
Yeah, there's just so much, so much.
yeah.
It's like I'm trying to like process to get it through, but yeah, Europe.
I have to say one thing.
Delightful.
Hey, Peter. I'll say that.
Okay.
Who that man is?
Good Peter listening,
who that
and
man
so
is.
is Martin. Two of my friends that I got to meet
Okay.
while I was abroad. Hey.
Hey, Peter. Hey, Martin.
Well, I'll say hello to a couple people too. Hey,
Right, shout 'em
hey
out.
Franco. Hey, JC. Hey, David. Hey, Raphael. Hey, Aitor. Hey, Miguel.
Okay, now look. I was just shouting out the people that I knew that I met on the trip that I would stay in contact with.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, me too.
Going forward. Yeah. But you already met some of them people already.
Oh, I knew all of them. Well, no,
Yeah, exactly.
No.
These
I
were
didn't.
brand new people who ain't never listened to the podcast before. I told them that I will shout them out on the podcast this
Hey.
week. So I just wanted to. say
You know
hey
what?
to them.
I'm glad you said that. Actually, backtrack. Months ago, I told, and I can't think of her name right now.
Damn.
Of course, because I told her I would shout her out months ago. She been listening, and she be texting Chorus and shout me out. So, hey to you, I can't think of your name off the top of my head right now. You know, my brain be bad. I'll think of it in a minute. Hold on. But,
shit.
hey, boo.
You know who you are.
Damn.
There was
You know,
there was an
my brain
old
be bad in the moment.
there was an old TV show back when I was a kid. It was called Romper Room, and it was like for kindergartners. And at the end of the episode, the the host, I forget what her name was, she had this little like magnifying glass, and she would look into the camera and she would say, you know, I see Johnny and David and Brandy and da 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 da. And I'm 5, so what do I know? I'm like, oh, I want her to say my name, Dawon.
Baby,
Dawon.
it's like the thing at the airport that we never find our name.
Right, exactly. And every time I watch and wait till the very end, I would just always get so disappointed because he never says my name. And then finally, my mom explained to me that, they just say common names for most of the
right people names. That's what it is.
It is. But it was one of the first moments that I realized that TV ain't shit.
We'll get into that a little later too, because TV really ain't shit right now. But Jerrell, so like you went to London, you went to Wimbledon, you went to Barcelona, you went to Sitges. Like, let's start even to Wimbledon, because like obviously we all three love tennis. I know going there, I was like, Wimbledon's going to be everything you want it to be. Was it everything you wanted it to be?
And then some. I'll keep it brief because we got a lot of shit to talk about, and I know this will turn into an us episode real quick, and I want to keep the community in mind.
The community want to know. They like, where the hell y'all been?
Look, I know, but there's some other pop culture shit that I want to make sure that we talk about today too.
Sure.
But
this is true.
It was great to take my grandma, who's like pushing 80, and we went through the queue. Honestly, the best experience I've ever had. One of the cool things.
The queue is the most civilized thing on earth.
Child, and they are respectful. That
shit would never fly here in the U.S.
Line. Honestly, yes,
wild.
you wait. Yes, you will wait hours.
Yes.
But you will be up in that bitch. Okay.
Yes. And it's civilized. Like, it's like cool, calm, and collected. Nobody fighting. It's not like a tailgate. It's like people are like, welcome. Like, it's like they're not yelling. Like, it's bizarre.
It really is. I literally, and then at one point, we noticed that people were bringing suitcases up in that bitch. People were bringing picnic baskets and all sorts of things. And I was like, couldn't it be in America? Because you can't even bring a fucking fanny pack or a purse in a stadium, yet alone y'all bringing luggage up into Wimbledon, girl. The way we end up meeting these other Americans. Oh, I feel bad. I wish I didn't get their information, but they were from Louisiana. This gay couple. We end up like going to the little store across the street, getting champagne while we were waiting. We went through like 4 bottles of champagne between the 4 of us. Like, it was honestly a great time. And the best part is that how accessible the players are at Wimbledon. Like, you get ground tickets, you're going to see someone in the top 10. You're going to see some of the girlies and some of the big boys who you hear in the conversation on ESPN and, semifinals, quarterfinals, finals. You will get to see them.
Yes.
And the ground ticket is only 35 fucking pounds. Which is equivalent to basically like $40 US.
Yes.
So I end up like sitting, hey, Patrick. It was good to see him. We got this.
Don't mess with my man.
I will tell y'all this. Patrick is just as fine in person as you see him in the videos and the photos. He is a beautiful man. Okay? A very beautiful man. And the ass was eating them shorts. Okay?
I bet it was. Damn.
And then we got to meet
ASMR.
It was. It was. Couldn't fit a whisper. But
that's right.
But then, like, after the match, we ended up meeting Naomi Osaka, and my grandma got a chance to talk with her a little bit as well too, and they were just so sweet. And then, like, got to meet Grigor Dimitrov as well too, who is also a fine man in person. Child, I said,
shout out to him and his torn pec. That's a heartbreaker.
I know. He need a massage. He need a massage. I volunteer for tribute. Yeah, I literally sat right on the ground, right next to where the players put their towels. So every time he was on this side, he literally came as far as me, and you put 2 arm lengths in front of you, not even 2, and arm length in front of me. That's how close he was. I could have caught a case. Could have been deported right out the fucking UK. I was that close. I had opportunity. but I was reframed. I was very proud of myself. But that man
very demure,
is
very mindful.
Okay. And then he made sure to come and take a picture with me. And I was like, oh, thank you. You're so nice. You're so nice. And then, like, I met a couple other players as well, too. And it was just, honestly, it was a great time. I would highly recommend anyone that's a tennis fan, or if you just know of tennis, go do Wimbledon. Like, honestly, do it.
Fire.
Do the queue. Like, the first day we went opening day, 92 motherfucking degrees.
Oof.
We got there at 6:30 in the morning. We were number 7,431 in line.
Yeah.
Okay? It got easier during the week. On Saturday, we tried it again. We were number 8,500 and something in line. Okay? It was so busy on Saturday that they actually closed the queue. They stopped letting people get into the queue. Okay. That's how busy it was. But once you're in the inside, it is beautiful. I just
gorgeous.
It is. Everyone is there to have a good time, support tennis, drink, be merry, and just have a good time. I didn't see not one person angry, yelling.
It's bizarre.
I ain't seen nobody shit faced, like stumbled, drunk, or anything like that. I was.
Because you go to these sporting events in the U.S.
Can't beat American. Can't be the U.S. Open.
No,
couldn't be.
Because baby, they reckless there,
honey. It's wild. They stealing seats,
baby. Talking loud, like they don't care about the tennis. They there for social.
Falling down the stairs, in the bleachers. It's crazy.
Yeah,
yeah. It was not that.
Wimbledon took me out because I was just like, this does not happen in American sports. Like it's American sporting venues is just so white refrigerator when you go to Wimbledon.
Yep, 1,000% that. So honestly, it was a great time. I did most of that, so I didn't get to do too much of London. Got to do this sightseeing, touristy stuff. Got on the double decker, like red bus, and did all that shit. And then I took my grandma actually on a dinner cruise on the river, the Thames River, which was actually fantastic. And that was probably my favorite part of the trip because that was the moment where I got to ask her about her, like, so tell me more about your parents, and which of your parents do you think you're more alike, and do I remind you of any of your parents, and what it was like growing up, in the 40s and the 50s, and having 11 siblings in a 2-bedroom home, and like all this other stuff, and just really just get to make space for her, which I feel kind of knows.
What did you learn that you hadn't, that you're like, whoa,
I didn't know that her dad, my great grandfather, actually passed away 10 days before I was born.
Oh wow, okay.
He passed away 10 days before I was born, and she was like, I was so heartbroken, and then you came, and it's like you went right into this space that was taken away from my dad, and you just always been in that pocket. And she literally said, it's a Jerrell pocket. That is your space, and can't nobody ever take it, and that's you. And then I also learned that a lot of kind of like my resiliency I actually get from both of my great grandparents, because neither one of them finished high school. And my great grandmother used to be one of the ladies that used to like sterilize and pick the tools in surgeries. She never went to college or nothing like that, but she was in the operating room handing tools and stuff like that, surgery equipment, to the doctors. And my
grandma alcohol.
Right, like
grandma penicillin.
And then like my great grandfather, like he could build anything. He just had this knack to being able to fix and create anything. So, the fact that they didn't go the traditional route too, and I feel like I really got a lot of that from them. So it was just really cool to kind of see that.
It is beautiful.
So, yeah. And then Valencia, I'm moving. When Dawon leaves, I'm gone. Okay, I heard it here first. Okay, so Kerel, it's gonna be on you to wake up early. Okay, because the two of us gonna be living in Spain. Okay.
Okay. Well, hold on. Okay. Why can't I come? Why
Because you got obstacles.
Obstacles.
We can get look.
Y'all, I need y'all to help me convince. Don't leave me. Damn. Said it with the quickness.
We are. Look, we
y'all said bye, girl.
Because if it's not on Corey's radar, it ain't happening. We all know that.
See, all you gotta do is show some beautiful scenery, some flowers and things like that. He'd be like, okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
Get it in and
There's a lot of that. So what I'm hearing is we gonna take a trip. We're gonna do an Aunteas trip to Spain.
There we go.
And we can both bring our obstacles and get the conversation rolling.
I'll be back there in August.
I heard actually from my obstacle, who's now thinking about going to Spain.
He said, "Since you win, I'm going."
Literally what he said. He was like, "Since you come back glowing about Barcelona, I guess I'm gonna go see Barcelona."
It's like you're
It's
eating
nice.
and everything. I want to eat too.
Nah, nigga, take your ass to Japan.
The wild thing is that not to the other end of the earth.
Right.
That's what I said.
Don't banish them to the other side of the world.
The wild thing is that it wasn't until we met up in Barcelona that we both realized that we were both in Valencia at the same time too.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea. I had no idea that he was going to be spending time and that Jerrell was going to be spending time in Valencia. So I just heard he was going to be in Barcelona and London.
London.
That was really it. So it didn't dawn on me. And I have two friends, Aitor and Miguel, who live in Valencia, and so came down for like 2 days, spend some time with them. And during that time, that was when Jerrell was down there as well. So we could have linked up then, but it wasn't until we got back and then went to Barcelona the very next day. They're like, okay, let's meet up. So
I know everybody. There was other folks that I was friends with, like, were over there at the same time.
Because like Conrad
and then you met
was
up with
there
Sean
as well
over there too. I was like,
I ran into Sean in London, which was the craziest fucking thing. Like, just literally I was just sitting there. I'm at a bar outside on the patio with Martin, some people I just met, and I said, I know all white people don't look alike. I started doing the little Kim a little bit. I was like, what is this? And I said, Sean. He was like, girl. I was like, what are the odds? And
exactly.
now I feel it. I met 2 community members who actually recognized me in London.
Really?
From the podcast.
Okay, now
How crazy is that?
that's amazing.
I love it.
I was like, oh my God. Like,
You said, oh.
it was so great. Oh my God.
Damn, I'm feeling a little FOMO because like it's been a minute since I ran into a community member like out in the wild.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been a minute for me too, actually.
Well, you gotta be in
didn't-
America to
Normally,
see that.
like it's these random like prides and shit,
guess.
but it didn't happen this weekend. Done.
White refrigerator.
Right. And then like our friend Conrad and friend Steve, they were over there in Barcelona and Sitges at the same time. I was like, good Jesus.
Yeah.
Everybody don't love
Yeah.
me in the States in this ghetto place.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I mean, people are trying to get their traveling in because there's a lot of restrictions that are starting to happen. A lot of these countries are closing the doors, putting in visa requirements and all that kind of stuff, and it's
I don't blame 'em.
becoming
I
tough.
understand it. I understand it. It was actually really nice to be out of the country and not have to be in any of the bullshit. And then also, the amount of people like, "Oh, you're from America? Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry." Yeah. I was like, "Thank you. I will receive that. Thank you. I am too. Y'all hiring because I'm ready to go." Like,
I've had a lot of
and the 4th of July
conversations.
too. That was fun in London. Like no crazy ass like fireworks, no white Americans out there wilding out. It was a regular ass fucking Friday. And it happened to be Pride weekend as well too. So everybody was out in them streets. And it was a good time.
What you do with grandma when you was out these streets?
She was at home. She was getting her, she got her steps in. So I made sure she was fed. She had water. And I brought my Apple TV because, black people. So I brought my Apple TV so that way she could watch all the stuff that she liked to watch.
Stories. Yeah.
And I have to say, your grandma was lovely. Absolutely lovely, and she was a trooper because that day in Barcelona was hot. She had her little
Fan.
Neck fan.
neck fan going, and she was wearing those long ass sleeves. She's like, I need to find me a t-shirt. There are plenty around. But she was lovely.
Yeah, but she loved y'all so much. And you have now officially entered the weekly prayer list, by the way, Dawon. So you are now up in there on her Tuesday Bible Nut
I got her
Study
drunk.
weekly prayer list.
I got grandma drunk. Yeah, I turned her on. Look, we so it was me, Raphael, and Jerrell and his grandma, and we meet up and and we sit. We meander our way to like one of the squares, and we're just like we needed a break from the heat. We literally walked like a block and a half, and it was just like stagnant and hot and muggy. So we found a little like, side cafe or whatever. We sit down and everybody orders drinks, and I say, "Oh, have you ever had a Tinto de Verano?" And she goes, "What's that?" And I said, "Don't worry about it. I got you." And she had already ordered a sangria, so I had already known. Now, Tinto de Verano is something that, hey, Marco, Tony, Eduardo, and Stephen, when we went to Barcelona and Madrid and Sitges back in May, this is a drink that we got turned on to and got hella drunk on, and it's not something we would normally drink, but it works, especially for summer. Tinto de Verano is basically red wine and lemonade and spritzer. That's basically what it is. So it's sweet.
Yeah.
The grandmother had ordered sangria. So I was like, oh, so she already likes sweet. Let me get this and put her onto this. So then I said, okay, I'm going to order a Tinto de Verano for you. She gave me this look like, what's that? I said, don't worry about it. I got you. And if you don't like it, I'll drink it. Baby, when that Tinto de Verano came, we all did our little cheers. And then she had that one sip. She was like,
she pushed that sangria to the side. And
I know that's right.
But she did the grandma taste first. She went. And then she was like, and then literally on the side, like I caught it. It was like a drive-by. She took that sangria that was sitting in front of her and the other drink that was kind of in the middle of the table. She pushed that other drink to the side, pulled that drink closer to her. I said, that'll get it, won't it? Right. She went like this.
I know that's right.
Said, say less.
That Tinto de Verano, baby. We brought that back to New York City, honey. It was so good.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself there, Jerrell. And I'm assuming, Dawon, you enjoyed yourself as well, boo.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've got the time. I'm not really working at the moment. And so, it's there's no better time to spend, time abroad and do all the things that I want to do. And with all the people that I want to spend it with, and then now, and especially while it's summertime, like who want to be sitting up here in the United States in the summertime? No, give me a beach.
And honestly, right now, anytime.
that part,
yes,
anytime. Well, I appreciate that, and shout out to Marco and Steven and Jerrell. Like other,
Chris, and Chris, and
Zay. Yeah,
Chris for like the last several weeks of just kind of filling in and holding down the guest auntie spots. So appreciate them while these two left me here in the white refrigerator land.
I wouldn't say the word left.
I was left.
But let me just say, you held it down, boo. You really held it down. The episodes were really hella funny, and it was just good. All good.
And I will say this though, and I'm gonna put this on the internet now because we need to do better at giving you your space, Kerel, to also be gone, and we can continue to hold this down. So, Dawon and I need to figure out how to be able to keep this ship afloat, keep this recording going out, so you can
I know how to do it.
Doing that as well too. Because here's the thing, it's so much fun. Also getting to be a listener from time to time as well too. It really is, and I missed the recording, but I also loved seeing our friends, chosen family step in and be part of the episode and get to see how they, fill in and bring their flair and stuff like that as well too. And it was great just seeing all the reasons why we rock with them shine through in the episodes as well too. So I just want you to be able to experience that too. Okay,
so. I'm gonna hold y'all to it because I want to go to.
Well, this one said she know how to do it, and my ass was like over here being thoughtful. She said, "Oh,"
she said, "I just don't want to."
Yeah, look. Well, this is she just said she got time though, right? I heard she just said she got time.
Look, I do this bitch by myself. I got enough personality.
She said me. I said, huh?
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. These past 2 weeks that I've been gone, and really any time that I've been gone, but these last 2 weeks, when Tuesday rolled around, that's when we usually do our recording. Yeah. I be feeling a certain kind of way, and then when the episode teasers be dropping, I'll be like, I
want to talk about that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. I was like this year. I was like, we ain't get a chance to talk to y'all about Cowboy Carter together. I was like, damn. I was like, we gotta get this out here though. But
yeah,
maybe I'll throw that into our segment here. Aunties give a damn at the end there. But quickly, Katie Fiola. Hey girl.
You remember the name? She remember the
Katie,
name.
what's up, boo? Hey.
And it was the first and last name for me.
I had to get the government, so she know exactly what I'm talking about. Sorry, boo, I couldn't think in the moment.
Must be a few Katies over there.
But yeah, shout out to San Diego Pride, folks. San Diego Pride was dope. It's honestly probably one of my favorite prides in the country, quite frankly. The weather's always, it's fucking San Diego, so it's the weather is always amazing. Perfect every fucking time. The friends out there is just a great group of guys. To just like tap in, tap out, and they was like accept me, it's just like as like their friend group, because they like similar to like our friend group, how we just roll deep and tight knit. That's their friend group, and they let me come, poke in, poke out, double dutch in, double dutch out every year, and a couple times a year that I see them. So shout out to them that also listen, and if you haven't done San Diego Pride, honestly, it's a good one. It's a good one.
I've been to San Diego a lot, but I've never been to their Pride. One of these years I got to get out there and experience it.
Especially their Sunday at Rich's, their Soleil party is just house music. Yeah. It's the best part of the whole weekend, quite frankly. I could just go for that and be the happiest camper on earth. It's just so good. So good.
I've been to San Diego so many times, and I've never actually been out in San Diego. I always go to San Diego, and I'm in like La Jolla or Mission Beach or Ocean Beach. Like I'm always over
Black's
there.
Beach.
No, she ain't been there.
You ain't been out to Black's Beach?
I ain't been to
You
Black's
ain't take your black ass to Black's Beach?
So ain't. First of all, because I heard about that damn hill and how much hiking you got to do to even get to that bitch, and I said, she don't do no cardio. She don't do that, but run her mouth.
This past weekend, and he said, "Bitch, that hill ain't about nothing." He said,
"That's what I heard."
That's what I hear.
It's a no for me.
Yeah, you got a parasail over there.
Right. I'm coming, but then you got damn. Now I got to walk up this hill.
Nah, bitch, I'm a find a boat and I'm gonna go all the way down the shore. And then get my ass a goddamn Uber. Look, okay.
She gonna rent one of them yachts that you get on Airbnb. And then,
right.
Can you just drop me off right over there?
Baby, she all the way up in Santa Monica. Oh man, but yeah, no, San Diego Pride is fun, and you see, I have a pretty strong voice today, so I'm quite.
I know.
Yes.
Look,
quite proud.
So the music must have sucked.
No, I went into it.
Yeah, you got it right. Because look, a good playlist come on, and she be singing. Okay,
well,
look,
I was singing, but I purposely this year I was like, I want to see if I could do it. I was like, I want to see that I'm not just yelling the entire time.
Okay, come on, self-discipline,
girl.
Okay. Now she said for Market Days, fuck that shit.
I know. Yeah, Community, by the way, heads up. The annual Market Days episode coming up soon in a few weeks. Yeah,
I'm not going.
That one I can guarantee. You ain't going?
I'm not going.
Same.
Yeah, I wanted to, and I was actually talking with Chino and Zay about going, and conversations just kind of like flew by, and then next thing I knew, it was the middle of July. So it's a little too late, and I've been gone too much. I'm going to Cleveland this weekend. So by the time this airs,
since when you ever said that you been gone too much? I never heard that come out your mouth.
Because she only go where she want to go, so it's never too much.
Amen.
Never too much. Never too much. Never
Bro,
too much.
Say, she said she going again in August, girl. It ain't too much.
Right.
But no, It hasn't been too much in the sense that I regret where I'm going. Let's put it that
Right.
way. But, you know, when I think about the things that I miss, you know, like right now I've got my niece with me and it's like for a very short period of time. Then she's going back to Michigan. Then a day later, a day and a half later, I'm flying to Cleveland because it's my grandma's 90th birthday. And so I'm going to like do birthday brunch with her and go to church with her on Saturday. And then I'm flying back. It's just... a lot. Like,
yeah,
I'm ready to be home for just like a solid week, you know, through the weekend. And I literally would be hopping on another flight to go on over to Market Days, and I can't pull it off. I can do it, but I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I tried. I really thought about it. Fucking Lewis was like trying to twist my arm, but like, you can do it. Like, we're gonna figure out a way. Like, there's all these places to stay, and we're gonna make it cheap and affordable. And I was like, child, it's just also the energy and the mental space that you to do it as well too. Like, you just you can't just casually do Market Days. It don't work that way. You gotta be intentional, and you got to plan it. Otherwise, you gonna lose. You can't win. You can't get it. You can't get out of the game. Come on now.
People be saying. It's true. I thought about Market Days halfway through the Pride weekend in San Diego. I was like, God. I was like, if I'm already this tired this weekend, Market Days is a whole nother level. I was like, it's the first time I'm like, I'm getting older, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm getting older. And that shit, I'm starting to think about it like, damn, how I'm going to find this energy to do I'm going to do it. Damn, it's taking a lot out of me.
She said, "My God is good." Okay,
amen.
Won't do it.
It won't do it. I know that's right. It gives me the strength that I ain't even know. Anyway, there's been a lot of stuff in pop culture that we referenced there at the top. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and get into it. And we haven't done this in a few probably months, really. So, Aunteas, do you give a damn? And we're going to start here because it's kind of pissing me off a little bit. But do you give a damn because it just hot off the presses today that the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee are banning transgender and women athletes per old boy's order?
I give a damn. I give a damn from the safety of the trans athletes because where this world is right now, there is not even nearly close enough to protect these athletes from the shit from a global standpoint that they would have to endure. And yes, I would love for them to live out their dreams and the hard work that they've been spending years of their lives competing at. I would love that. But I would hate to see something bad happen just at the sake of them being able to compete. I want this place, I want this world, I want this country to be in a much better place for them to be able to have their platform and it not be a weapon against them. And that's the main reason why I give a damn. Other than that, if you love sports, bitch, it's all about step your pussy up. At the end of the day, if you're a real athlete, if you really care about sports, you know there can only be one. And anyone who cares about it, and when it happens to be a tie, because I hate that shit in the Olympics too. I hate that shit. Because you see that shit sometimes in track and field. When they be like, oh, we can both spit the... No, bitch, you keep going. Keep going because there can only be one. Okay? So I hate the idea of... you know, people being like, well, sports is supposed to be a certain kind of way. No, at the end of the day, step your pussy up and be the better person. And if you really want to go there, we can go down the rabbit hole of science because we see it all the time with bodybuilders and how they can transform their bodies to do certain things. We see it all the times with actors and actresses all the time, changing their bodies to fit type of roles and stuff like that. We know there's enough science that proves that when you transition as a trans athlete, that your body scientifically is in the realm of where you are competing, point blank. And you can argue with the fucking wall at that point.
You heard? Dawon, you give a damn, boo?
I guess I really did give a damn, didn't I?
You showed it. I loved it.
I'm not going to belabor it. I agree 100% with Jerrell. I 100%, I do give a damn. I think that like a lot of the issues that have been hitting our trans brothers and sisters and others, this is scapegoat tactics that becomes a distraction that ultimately puts, that disenfranchises a very minority part of but also very important and equal part of our broader community. And the scapegoating is just a distraction away from the real stuff that's really going on. And I don't mean to say that this is not real stuff, because it is, because it's impacting real lives, it's impacting real people, it's cutting these individuals off from the opportunity to not only showcase the talent that they have, but then also, we all know that the Olympics it's kind of like the drag race of Olympics.
I'm on gay reference. I'll be for it.
But it is.
But it is a launch pad for a lot of these people's careers, for them to take, their passion and their training and turn these into, money making opportunities. And so, I feel bad for, all of the athletes that have been working so hard minimally for the last 4 years just to qualify to participate in this and these kind of events, only to have that ripped away from them based off of, some bullshit that's coming out of, our political realm. I think it's bullshit. I don't like it. I give a damn. I think we still need to uplift and speak on issues like this. And yeah, I definitely give a damn.
Yeah, no, you all nailed it. I give a damn. And almost on the flip side of what even Jerrell says, just like, I definitely want to protect that community. But if I was in that spot, I'd almost be like, damn, I want to at least have the opportunity to, it's just like, I get that you want to protect me, but let me at least have the opportunity to get over, get to participate, and to have that snatched away after a lot of these folks, it's their lives. Like, you spend your life training to have these little
and
3 minutes of moments.
Most people don't understand, unless you have an endorsement, you are paying people yourself, your trainers, your coaches, in the hopes of you winning a medal. And we learned in the last Olympics as well too, that different countries pay different amount of money if you get gold.
Yes.
For instance, when the gymnast won gold for gymnastics for the Philippines, gave that nigga a house, 2 houses, a car, and $5 million.
Cell phones,
but over here in the U.S., you get a funky $5,000.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So it just sucks, and it's just especially if that's your God-given talent, who the hell is a human being to take away that opportunity? That shit bothers, just because one human being in his political craziness. That shit bothers the fuck out of me, and it bothers the fuck out of me that there's so many people out there that are willing to just easily bow down. Mm-hmm. That shit bothers the fuck out of me, really. So fuck all them that are just not willing to stick up for some shit. Fuck them all, because it irritates me so bad.
I will say this: I would like to see things like the gay games become more of a thing within the queer community. Yeah. If you have not heard of the gay games, it's literally basically the gay Olympics. It's it's all the Olympic sports that you can think of that you would see on TV, but it's for queer athletes. Mm-hmm. And I would just love to just see that grow and become more of a thing. It's starting to fall off over the last 2 cycles of the gay games, mostly because of the pandemic that really changed it. But it is, honestly, I've been before, and it is one of the best things that I've ever done in my life. And it's so great as a queer man myself that grew up in sports, seeing so many other queer people thrive in sports and be happy doing it. And it's not just for people who grew up playing sports. The cool thing about the gay Olympics is if you live in fucking Chicago and you got a gay volleyball team that you like to play with in league, you can literally sign up for a division within the gay games and go compete at the gay games. So you don't have to have this huge following thing. You don't have to once be a D1 athlete or a former professional out NFL player or any of the rest of that shit. If you are passionate about a sport, you play a sport, you can do it at gay games and go do it. I encourage everyone to.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, Aunties, do you give a damn about this SZA versus Nicki Minaj beef?
I haven't even heard about it, to be honest with you. So, no, I don't give a damn.
Child, Auntie Nicki is unhinged right now. Auntie Nicki is unhinged right now. She must have got no irons in the fire right now, because it's given she's sitting on the couch and just trolling and just saying shit just to say shit. Like the whole, I done spoke to, what's her name, the senator, and I'm going to get immunity. I'm about to rat these motherfuckers out, and going at it with SZA and trying to talk about numbers and selling out stadiums on her own tour and da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, why does everything have to be an issue? And this is one thing that I've noticed within a lot of women is that sometimes that need to compete against each other. And I forget, it's also that thing in the Beyonce album when the lady's doing her monologue and she says, why don't we teach women to help each other, and not aspire to marriage. We teach, instead of teaching each other to be competition and shit like that. And that's a real thing. That's a real thing. I can't tell you how many girls I've met, women I've met that simply just don't like someone just for the sake of it. Ain't did nothing, but they just don't fuck with each other. And I feel like that's what's happening right now. And it's happening with Nicki and a whole bunch of other people as well. So, Auntie Nicki, get off the fucking internet, girl. Get off the internet. SZA is like, she's a little butterfly. She out there just floating. This is SZA.
About you. Like that's the thing. Like, everything ain't about you. And even if it is, who gives a damn? Like, and that, like, I don't know why everything bothers her so bad. Like, I genuinely don't.
What is her sign?
That's a good question. What is Nicki's sign? I don't know.
Bothered.
Yeah, that's the sign. That is literally the sign.
Because it's just like, and I get maybe since you already didn't like TDE, which is the label that SZA was signed to, and the folks there, any little thing is just going to set you off. The thing that set her off was like literally the TDE A&R guy or the co-president posted something that said Broken Barbies, which was the title of a song of an artist that he was promoting. And Nicki thought it was about him, and all the Barbs got into it and thinking and started tagging her and thinking it was her, and that just set her off on everybody. It's like, girl, it's not that deep. Especially like if you're an icon like that. Icons don't get that bothered. And if so, put out a lyric in a song.
Some people have way too much time on their hands, and we already seen the playbook on this with Azalea Banks. You want to go there,
That's where
Nicki?
it's really starting to go.
Like, do you really want to go there? Like, I don't know the whole situation, but like, it's sounding like Azalea Banks. It's giving.
It is, but it won't ever be that way because the talent are two different types of talents. So,
that's true too.
And that's the thing that I hate. It's just like, Nicki is cold. Like, ain't nobody seeing a feature, man or woman, like Nicki. Just point break. Like, whenever you see a Nicki on, she always elevates it. Now, I wish her own music could be sometimes as good as these features. Okay, that's the real tea. That's the real tea. That's the real tea. Okay, right. But when it comes to showing up for everybody else,
and Barb's don't come for us. Stay home.
Yeah, she when Nicki has been on anything, she has always outdid whoever album she was featured on, whoever song she featured on.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's
she
the
don't know how
fact.
to outdo herself on her own album. I agree.
It could be your own worst enemy.
Do we give a damn that Colbert late night show is going away, and it seems like he's gotten caught up as another pew of oh boy? I give a damn. I do. That's another one I'm irritated about.
I'm not going to belabor this because this has been all over the news, and I don't think that we are going to add too much, newness to this. But the reality of it is that, again, this boils down to distraction politics, and I think the other component beyond this is that this is a freedom of speech issue. So the fact that you've got 100%. Somebody whose career is being impacted, who has great ratings, and all of this is happening because there's, conspiracies going on and closed door conversations. I think it's bullshit. I think we need to call this shit out. We need to call a thing. We need to stop dancing, tiptoeing and dancing around the issue and just zero right in and speak it right into the hole.
Yeah. That's the only reason why I care. Other than that, I don't watch any late night show, so I don't care about any of them white people up there late at night. Like,
I care because it's finally a white man that actually utilizes his platform to speak up and out about shit. Like, it's very
Jon
few
Stewart
white
does
men.
it too.
Yeah, and Jon Stewart, yes. I mean, they were from the same show and same friend group and everything, so that makes sense. And especially on a white-ass station like CBS, to have someone actually speak up on a station like that, where middle America, white people are watching, to take that shit, they know exactly what they're doing. And that's what pisses me off. And I'm quite frankly glad to see that Steve was like, okay, you gonna give me a year? Guess what? I'm starting the next day with some heat saying, fuck you.
And he did.
Fuck you on
did.
CBS.
Yep.
Love.
And I'm here for it all because we need folks to speak up
And
to these
low-key,
homes that are still watching this shit.
And low-key, we started seeing some of this before this. We started seeing a lot
60
of
Minutes.
We saw a lot of anchors being pulled off of shows, and a lot of other shows just being shut down. And so, this kind of quieting of diverse voices and different perspectives, that are particularly liberal and progressive voices, and particularly voices of actual reason and common sense and facts, as opposed to all the shit that we've been force fed and whatnot. I want to see more people being outraged about this, and I'm going to put it on white women. Like, y'all, 55% of y'all didn't vote for this person in the White House. So where y'all
and
at?
if it wasn't you, get your cousins, get your auntie, get your mammy, get your grandma.
I'm not doing it. This is not my fight. I will fight for the trans. But this is not my fight.
We're protecting and uplifting the dolls. That's what we doing.
That's where we're spending my energy.
And this is me the same way I was irritated with the Olympic Committee folk. I'm irritated with the people in the upper realms of these companies. Who gives a fuck if the merge doesn't go? Who gives a fuck? You're still gonna make fucking millions and billions. Fuck you. It pisses me off. It pisses me off. Because who cares if he doesn't make the merge go through? You still have the fucking network. Oh, it irritates me so bad. All right, let me go on. Do you give a damn? And, we'll do this. Do you give a damn? And are you here for it all? That Mariah Carey dropping her new album on September 26th. And that's really kind of more aimed at Dawon. Do you give a damn, boo?
I always give a damn about whatever Mariah Carey does. I always give a damn. I'm so excited. Even just like the little bit of teasers that she's been doing with those little melodies and whatnot, and talking about, how there's like she's getting back into like R&B. Like I'm so ready for all of it.
Yeah, you here for it. Oh, you give a damn, Jerrell.
Matter of fact, I give 3 dams. I don't give just one.
Right, he's like, I give a damn for all the aunties.
I'm just interested just to see what she puts out.
Yeah.
Like the first single that came out. I didn't really care for it, but I like I said, that she is singing with her voice of today and not using, studio to try to sound younger and who she was back then. So I'm curious if she stay in that lane. I'm also curious, though, because I really didn't care for the writing of the song. It didn't feel like it was... For me, whenever I hear Mariah's writing, I feel like I'm not hearing anything. I'm hearing something new, right? Mm-hmm. And I felt like the writing of that first single was stuff that is kind of out there what everyone else is kind of putting out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was these raggedy ass hoes that got you, wasn't it?
Rigmarole. It was that for me.
The rigmarole was very Mariah Carey.
That was very Mariah.
Yeah, but it was what did you call them? The ball headed hoes, the ugly headed hoes,
the 3 lying assholes or something.
I can't remember what some hoes.
But
there was just a water no soap.
There just wasn't something I felt like was pushing of lyrics like she's known to do. So I'm just hoping that I get more of that, because she could write some music. So that's what I want to see.
Yeah, I give a damn too, and the reason I really give a damn is I found out that L.A. Reid is the executive producer, and he was the executive producer of her 2 best albums of the last like 20 years, Emancipation of Mimi and Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay,
I'm
so she knew what she
there.
was doing to get him back on the executive producer side.
You didn't say all
So
that.
I'm
You
like,
should have said that in the
We should
question.
laugh at
Auntie, you give a damn. Because now I changed my answer for sure. Absolutely. Because I still fuck with them 2 albums.
Those 2 albums are the
low-key-
best of the last 20 years of hers.
I
by
low-key feel
far.
like I feel like we're going to get just, I don't want to say bops, good ass
good ass
song, like a
music.
very, what's going to be a new classic for Mariah. It's what I'm feeling.
It's starting to feel like she wants to prove that she's Mariah.
Damn, y'all got me excited.
And low key, I love the fact that the song that she did release, wasn't all about the whistle notes and about the super runs and whatever, because at the end of the day, we all know, let's be clear, Mariah today is still out singing a whole lot of these bald-headed hoes that be got mics out there anyway. So the fact that she's not hitting what she used to hit when she was 25 when them vocal cords was fresh, right? And not drowned in champagne and caviar and darlings.
And diamonds, darling. Diamonds.
The fact that I appreciate it. I really do. And I give her the props for that. And I think it's setting the tone so that when the album drops and she just delivers the goods.
Here's my thing, and Kerel, I'm sure you know where I'm going to go with this.
Oh, Lord.
I can't unhear her and the remix of Thank You Next. So, like, I'm going to need her. I'm going to need her.
That one was a little rough.
Okay. So that was one of the reasons why I kind of went in this being like, I'm not sure, because that lived rent free in my head. I'm like, that was a setup. That was a set
Baby.
Okay.
That lives in a lockbox in the basement,
Baby.
underneath the basement,
we
chains.
forget about that We don't know her.
What?
I feel like the Type Dangerous is almost similar to Emancipation Mimi, where she it's like that first single where you're like, okay, that's a cute little Baba song. But then she hit us with We Belong Together right after that. I feel like this new song she's dropping on Friday might be the one where you're like, ooh, okay, Mariah's back.
Now we know.
She's
Now
back
we know.
and giving us what we want from Mariah. So we'll find out by the time this episode comes out on Monday. We'll have a clear understanding if we like sugar, because it's called Sugar Sweet.
Sugar Sweet.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. And I think I'm going to, because the little clip, I'm like, ooh, okay, this might grab me. This might grab me. So
I'm
we'll see.
also very curious. Like, I think a lot of people are drawing inspiration from how Beyonce is rolling out her music, with kind of like these teasers and being kind of secretive with, because we haven't had any leaks.
That's true.
I feel like people, no white refrigerators up in this bitch. But yeah, I'm seeing that a lot of artists are really kind of leaning into that. So that's kind of cool.
Do we give a damn that Laverne Cox dated a MAGA NYC cop for 3 years, 20 plus years her junior?
No. First of all,
give a damn either.
bitch, get in where you fit in, okay? Let me tell you. 20-year difference, getting your back blown out, bitch, fucking go for it. And let's be honest, some of us has done a lot worse for some dick or some hole. So, who, not a nigga gay can open their mouth to say shit.
Because we're all walking contradictions.
Sure can.
Sure can. I will say, like, even I have, because I've been known to date like these farm boys from like Wisconsin. That was my kryptonite for the longest time. Then I realized that ain't it. That's definitely ain't it. But I've been in so many spaces where I've met white people who are also queer and lean Republican, and we've seen in the last election cycle and stuff like that. So we know these type of queer people exist, and I still stay in the lane that if you're dating someone, how they vote does matter. It definitely does matter how they vote, but I'm not going to give someone shit for dating someone who votes different than they vote. Like, you still should be having those conversations. You still need to be working on getting the person that you're dating with to start seeing things better. You know, that's the thing. If you're going to date somebody that's on the wrong side, at least help try to give them the knowledge to make sure that they can do it. Yes, Google is free. I get it. But, you know, sometimes a hard head makes for a soft behind. So, for there, you got to go.
Hard head goes in a soft behind. Got it. Okay.
I said makes for a soft behind, not goes in a soft behind. Look, that was a Google Translate there for you, if I ever heard one.
ChatGPT fucked that one up.
Look, okay. That was Elon Musk's chat over there.
Right.
But I mean, like, if you are dating someone who's on the wrong side, and you're at least working and trying to get them to see things and do better, then go for it. But if you're not actively trying to be like, get your shit together, why?
Yeah.
So
yeah, like I honestly really don't give a damn. The only thing is, like, it's hard for me if I was in that position. It's just the MAGA part. It's different than like different political things in the past. I'm like, okay, we could maybe work around that. But the MAGA part is like, girl, that group is literally killing you. I was surprised his ass didn't like beat your ass up like that. Like, that's wild. So
yeah.
But again, we're all fucking walking contradictions a lot. So that part probably doesn't really bother me as much because we all say one thing and sometimes do the complete opposite, even when we know better. Yeah. So I can't say shit to that. Because I'll be doing the same thing, but maybe not to that degree. I ain't trying to date nobody that's going to try to kill me and put laws in there they don't want my existence. But maybe hopefully she grew, and the dick better been good for 3 years.
Clearly it was, because you're talking about it 3 years later.
You sure?
Or however long it's been. I give a damn. I give a damn, goddammit. I give a damn because two things. Number one, you know, it's really difficult to fault somebody and judge somebody based on the decision that they've made to love someone despite their differences. I think we all can agree that we have people that we know that are in our circle. They might not be in our bed. Maybe some of us are, that are listening, that lean differently in terms of how they vote and what they believe and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, and we love them anyway. You know, I have people that are close to me. That have very different views, particularly about the trans community and where they, you know, where they can participate and how they show up or whatever. And I recognize that is coming from a place of ignorance, but I love them anyway. So that's one. But number two, I'm just questioning the motive of why are you releasing this brand damaging information right now? Like, what is the motive behind it? Because nobody asked. I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not in all the blogs. I'm not like, you know, the internet sleuths. I have a life. So for y'all that be out there digging in people's trash cans and all that kind of stuff, good for you. I'm not in her business like that. Maybe somebody asked her, like, have you ever dated somebody that was a part of the MAGA? And she said, well, actually I have. I don't know. But the fact that she's campaigning on her own lives, carrying the conversation forward, which feels more like self-promotion than it does about saying, I did this, and here's what I learned from this, and here's how I'm carrying that learning forward so that I can help my own community.
Well, she literally says, if you want to know more, go to her show. So this is giving more promotion clickbait than anything else.
And that's the
problem.
And
I bet you by the time the show happens, the clip of the actual story was, so actually, y'all, I just probably said that shit just to kind of get y'all here, or it wasn't 3 years. It was like, you know, I've known this person. We weren't actually fucking or anything like that. It was a friend. There's gonna be something.
And that's why I give a damn, because I questioned the whole mode. Ain't nobody asking Laverne goddamn Cox about what cock she's sucking, where she's sticking them, how they voted, what their political affiliations are, and what they did to her wig when it was all done. Don't nobody care.
Not
about that.
Her wig back.
And you,
damn.
Well, I mean, you saw the wig that she was wearing in her video. So.
You mean that Halle Berry 1995 wig?
That was a Halle Berry,
right? that Sonic the Hedgehog, double do.
Jamal back.
I'm getting back, but. That's the thing that I take issue with all the things that are all the things that have been happening, particularly to Black trans women. And Laverne has experienced a lot of privilege, you know, thanks to her talent. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's just coming blanketly. But she's experienced a lot of privilege that a lot of our regular, schmegular, bold, beautiful black and brown and other, trans individuals will never be able to experience. And so to come out now with this, kind of like salacious story that just rubs everybody the wrong way, and it's not like she doesn't know that this kind of a story is going to rub people the wrong way. It makes me question her motives with all of this, and I feel that it's disingenuous, and I feel that it's really brand damaging, in my opinion.
I think Dawon really cared.
I do care.
Oh, yeah.
Just one, not three.
Yeah, just one. Right. Just one, Auntie. Do we give a damn that Malcolm Jamal Warner passed?
Yeah, I cried. I boo-hooed. I absolutely cried. I was like, that's our cousin, y'all. That was our cousin. Okay.
He was a good one. He was a good one. He was accomplished. He was an intellect. He was socially and politically and emotionally aware. He challenged the stereotype of what it means to be a black man in this world at this time. And there was so much regality in him that he demonstrated through the way that he walked through this earth and the way that he took advantage of the opportunities that have been afforded to him.
Especially as a basic level of a child star, too.
Absolutely.
Have all that.
And 54 years old? Just tragic.
In a tragic way. Oh.
Yeah.
And literally got off the plane from San Diego, and that was the first thing that popped up, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah. To kind of Dawon's point, after the Cosby Show and still getting to see him on TV, he really became just this other way of what it means to be a black man on TV, and not being a stereotype that Hollywood wants to put black men in. He wasn't a drug dealer. He wasn't an incarcerated black man. He got to still play roles as a black man that can still be accomplished, still have a family, still have everyday real life things with dating and a career and friendships
and a whole ass other sitcom that was successful.
Right. It was like I said, he was a cousin. He was someone that we all got to see on TV, and we got to see a part of ourselves in him. And I think one of the things that makes me more sad is the amount of people that will not get to experience him how we got to experience him. There's just so many young black people, young black kids, and this younger generation of black youth that don't understand that some of the people that they see on TV grew up with him as well. They don't understand that waterfall effect, and I just wish I wish he would have. I don't feel like he got his flowers before his time. I don't feel like we got the time to really give him his flowers. Yeah. Because again, we think of 54. We got time. Right. And this is just a reminder. Time is never promised for nobody.
No. Yeah. I mean, he was America. That show obviously was America's sweetheart show. But even just for black folks, it also showed a different lens that a lot of us saw day to day. At least for me, I grew up in more of a middle class situation, and that show was like a spotlight of what I saw day to day. And then just to have the son and things it was just such a normal part of your day. So like you said, as a cousin, you thought that was your family on TV. And it's so ingrained in the memory banks. It's so wild. So when I saw that, literally it made me tear up on the plane. I was like, oh fuck. Wow, and then to see that was such a tragic
drowning,
drowning in
crazy.
Costa Rica in the riptides.
That's a horrible way to go. Yeah. I just cannot, because that's painful. It's literally known that drowning is one of the worst ways to go.
So man, no, that one was tough.
Yeah,
that one, and I didn't know it was gonna be tough. And then you're damn, no, that one hurt. I was like, so prayers to his family, because I mean, it sounded like it was his family that was there, you know. So it's just like that's just a lot. That's traumatizing. Yeah. So, man. A couple more here. Do you give a damn that Venus is back playing tennis on the professional level?
I do. I really do. It was really good to see her and Hailey Baptiste playing doubles and win that as well too. I think right now she's probably.
I think she is playing.
I think she's playing her singles or maybe done right now. You know, I'm glad that we're getting to see her play, and she just didn't retire without playing again.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Yeah.
I'm glad that that she's getting the opportunity to go out playing, and we get to, like Serena, give her fucking flowers in real time. Like we were just talking about Jamal. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. I don't want it to be. All of a sudden she woke up and she's like, actually, I'm done. Like I want.
And she won 3 and 4 against Peyton Stearns. Yeah. 6-4. Yeah.
Oh my God. That honestly, that just makes me.
Yeah.
Another cousin, someone that we just grew up with. I can't imagine tennis not having either of the Williams sisters. I know I talked about Wimbledon, and it was really cool to be there. But I can tell you, like, not having Serena, the game is different. Like not having Nadal, not having Roger, like the game is different. And she's one of the last few iconic main stage players that are still going. And out of all of the
30
girls,
years ago.
30 years ago, my nigga. So like that's just crazy. And out of all the active players still playing, she still has the most Grand Slams out of all the girls that are still playing, you know. So like I just want her to get all her flowers, and I want her to go out top. And also, I just want to say congratulations on your beautiful Italian man that you engaged to, because, man, he is fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, go ahead, Venus. I know that press tour, she kept on showing that ring. She's like, it's all about love, you know. I was like, oh, my God, Venus, you too silly. And it was announced this week, too, that she's playing the U.S. Open with Riley Opelka in the mixed doubles.
Oh,
so
really?
She's already confirmed for the US Open. So,
I love that.
Yeah. So, I give a damn. I absolutely give a damn. Like, point blank, period. Anytime we get to see Venus play and be happy and healthy, I'm all for it. So I hope she plays till she's like 50. And Martina Navratilova could do it all them years ago, still playing. Venus Williams could do the same damn thing. So let that lady play. And give her all the wild cards.
Martina Navratilova. I don't know why they couldn't get that out.
Try you got it. I believe in you.
Take 2.
Right.
Martina Navratilova is a bad bitch on the court. I was watching some old reruns of some of her Grand Slam matches. Yeah, baby, like the trick shots that she was doing, it was out.
She was dope.
She was. Incredible.
The thing is, I think Serena's like the best woman player ever, and top 3 probably, like, period. I mean, it's hard between Djokovic and Nadal. Like, she's in the top 5 of players ever.
For sure.
But we don't talk about Martina enough, even though we do. She had the 18 singles, but she had, like, 32 doubles. So that lady was playing singles and doubles, like, in every fucking tournament, and, like, every 20 mixed doubles. Yep. So she was just playing all the tennis and winning all the things. I was like, damn, this lady, woo. And, like, 9 Wimbledon titles and some shit. Like, it's crazy. Craziness. I'm debating if I was going to say that. You know what? We'll do it quickly here. Do you give a damn that Ginger Minj won Drag Race? We won't even do a whole episode. We'll just keep it on here.
Yes. She was the right one to win. She was the best one of the whole cast. She's the one that uniqueness, nerve, talent. She had it all. She deserved to win. And I'll keep it brief again. It just kind of goes back to the last regular season, how it was Anya and I forgot the other girl name at this point. I don't know. Almost why I said Jewel Sparkle. Is that her name? Jewel Sparkles?
Yeah. Jewel Sparkle.
Yeah. Okay, I did remember her. Okay. But it's just like, again, there are different type of queens, and it's clear how easily entertained so many of the girls are, because they think because you're doing all these twirls, all these dips, all these spins and hair flips and stuff like that, that means you're doing better. But a lip sync is about embodying and delivering of the song, not doing a fucking routine. Okay? So
Right. This ain't America's Best Dance Crew.
Girl, okay, come on now. So you can think you dance, girl. Okay.
Right.
So
I know, because that whole Denali situation still kind of irritates me. I was like, Denali danced her ass off for sure. But that's not the fucking point.
No,
it's a lip sync.
No, it's a lip sync. Yeah.
I give a damn. I give a damn because, I feel bad that Ginger's win is tainted with all of this other stuff that she, as a contestant in this show, had no control over. And if I were in her shoes, I would take advantage of every advantage I have to get that money in my pocket.
Baby.
Yeah.
Even if it was a sure thing, she still had to show up. So, I say bless you to Ginger. I feel bad for her that, the hysteria around the production put a little bit of a tarnish on that crown, but it's still well deserved. And I hope that for the production team that and Rue, that they put a little bit more class and delicacy with how they are orchestrating the story, because we all know that this is not a true contest a contest of merit. We know that this is made for TV, but use a little nuance. What people are most upset about is not that Ginger won, that it made it seem, whether it was intentional or not, that the way that the entire show was set up for Ginger specifically to win. And that is unfortunate. You should not have to show your hands. If that was your plan, don't show your hand, because it makes it less enjoyable as a viewer to watch and enjoy the whole journey. When you have the sense that you're being cheated out of an experience, and then you wait to the very end only to find out that your suspicions are founded, whether they're true or not.
I almost struggle with that.
It's a poor experience for the viewers.
Because, in one hand, yes, I see what people are saying, but on the flip side, everyone else had an equal opportunity to step their pussy up.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
And to show why they are better than Ginger Minj. If they felt that it was being set up in these things. And quite frankly, the lip sync is not her strongest point. She knows how to embody a song, and she knows how to do that better than probably everyone. But it was set up for Georges to win, quite frankly, because that Georges, we all know, is Rue's favorite. And Butthole is quickly becoming the mini Georges, quite frankly, which low key. I really enjoy Butthole.
Let's give Butthole
Let's
give Butthole some flowers, because
I agree.
Number one, she deserves the title of lip sync assassin. The way that Lydia locks in on her performances, and the mania, the controlled mania that she's able to demonstrate through her style of lip sync performance.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that I enjoyed that much.
It reeks of Pittsburgh weirdness, but also in a very elevated kind of way.
She got a little interesting rhythm syncopation that surprises me every time. And I'm like, you got a little syncopated rhythm that I wouldn't foresee this from you. But I say that all to say is Ginger could have easily had an inner saboteur. She could have easily, quote unquote, fumbled it if we so-called think it was set up for her. So I that's where I just kind of struggle with that narrative. It's just she still had to do all the things. And quite frankly, she did a lot of things better than everybody else on that season when they had the same equal opportunity to step up.
Yeah. It's one thing to say that, the other girls were outdoing her and she still happened to win. But she was outdoing the girls. She literally basically won every single thing that she fucking did, rightfully so, outright, besides one. And she came in second to the one time that she didn't win. She was literally doing all the challenges better than all the other girls. And that's just the reality of it.
And I get maybe the narrative part but I was just like, they ain't had much to work with. Besides Mistress and her crazy shit. I was like, they ain't had nothing else. So of course the edit made Ginger look good, because these hoes wasn't doing good.
Yeah. But Mayhem Miller, hey, thanks for being on. They made a post about, RuPaul, the show, and again, but at the end of the day, it's about really just making Ru laugh. And at the end of the day, there are still queens that are on the show who are still great drag performers, and that we should not be taking away from other queens just to lift up one other. They still need them coins. They still need the bookings and stuff like that as well too. So I just want to remind everybody to still show support to the other girls, even if they're not your type of drag queens, because y'all know me. I don't like the clowns. I don't like the ones who be doing the stupid shit. Okay, but I'm not going to tell people not to like those type of queens. You know what I'm saying? So we have
to go through this every single season. Like we got to chastise the drag doll community. We have to chastise them about this because it always boils down to, well, my girl didn't win and da 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 da. I feel like this one is a little bit of a different slant because there were queens in certain instances that people felt should have done better or whatever. But I think this one was more of a criticism of how they constructed this format. And I think this is a good learning opportunity. Number one, people loved the brackets to begin with. That was great. I think what really disappointed people was the last 2 episodes this like a throwaway. And this whole kind of like Lollapalooza, you're going to lip sync for the crown. It's like, well, what was the fucking point of going through the brackets? It didn't live up to those.
And that's why I said the Ginger thing. I was like, the ending was not set up for Ginger to win then, because Georgia should have won. But Georgia didn't show the nuance with the different songs.
And low key, if you look at the performance, how many times they cut away from Georgia's, because Georgia's was cutting that fucking rug up.
So here's my thing with Georgia's. I feel like she's very rinse and repeat in all of her performances. I feel like she cycles the same 5 or 6 dance moves over and over and over and over again. But there was something about this finale lip sync that I was like, she's giving puss. She's giving puss. She's giving puss. And that's why if you notice at the end when they gave the crown to Ginger, you didn't see Georges at all after that. Even when the girls came on the stage and stuff like that and they hugged Ginger, you did not see Georges at all after that point. And I felt for her. I really felt for Georgia because I was like, honestly, sis, you could easily be the winner.
She's a star. Georgia's a star.
She absolutely
is. For sure.
And she did say, she came out and said that, number one, she didn't know that they were going to record them both winning, and then they were going to announce it on the show. So those emotions that she was feeling in the moment were true and real. And it wasn't until everybody went backstage that she was just disappointed. And then one of the other Ru girls said, hey, you know that they're going to do another one with you winning, right? She goes, I didn't know that. So,
I will, Jerrell, I'm gonna give you a high five. Here's another thing where people I'm talking about the setup by producers. They set that shit up for Bosco to get the best performance of the night, and Bosco could have easily went on. So that's the part where it's like nobody's talking about the other narratives of producer shit when they feel they just don't like Ginger. Just say that. Well, because Bosco ate the shit out
that. You could tell that based on the song choice that they picked a song for each. No, well, they picked a song for each of the queens to excel at. But that's also that's the wild card. And then what it boils down to is 2 things. Number one, they didn't show the actual rankings, how the girls ranked, which is what they've done when they've done Rate a Queen.
Like who ranked who.
Who ranked who what. So that led us to believe that there was some producer shenanigans going on with who they pitted up with whom. And then number 2, they always did a cutaway when they did the Bruno picking the ball out of the thing and then showing the person's name. So the Drag Race community is like the production of it, whether it was intentional or not, set us up as viewers to think that this was set up for Ginger to win, and that's the thing that I don't like about it. So they got to cut out those things that give the impression that they're giving an unfair advantage to one person or another.
Because low-key, Ginger almost lost against Carey. Carey started off strong.
Carey, if she would have unfurled that goddamn bun
that
at the top of her head,
she would have let them all them 56 inches down,
honey. I was like, what did you wait? You don't save your reveal for nothing. That's why you went home.
Yep, sure did.
If she would have let them 79,248 inches, if she would have let them 8,249,000 inches come down from that top of the head, baby, we would have been all on the flow. Would have been a different conversation.
So yeah, but overall it was a good season to set up, and obviously they'll tweak it for next year. The rumor is they're doing a winners part 2, so we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens here.
I clocked that, didn't I? I literally was just like, and if they do a winners part 2, Ginger
and
would
some
be...
of the names that they're whispering right now, I'm like, ooh.
And low key, we've talked about this before, and I've said this many times. I hope that based on how Irene performed, I hope that they seriously consider a pork chop season, and I hope that they also consider a villain season.
And a Mistress Paige Brooks season. We just need a spin off of Mistress Paige Brooks.
Bring all the villains back.
Dawon want the drag race version of Bad Girls Club. That's what
I want to
drag
Mistress
back.
Her.
If they did that, I know y'all were going for this, and maybe we'll end it on this one. Quick, did you see Superman? If so, we'll save it for next week. Okay,
I sure did.
Okay, we'll give
Superman.
one a little moment. So,
okay.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago with other Jerrell, but since you're both here, how did you feel the ending of Mistresses season?
I think it was rightfully so for her time to go. Honestly, her attitude in that last episode was stank. It was so foul. She had to go.
It wasn't even good TV at that point.
It wasn't good TV at that point. It wasn't good TV at all at that point. And you know, I'm gonna pray for her.
Growth.
Low-key, I feel like there was a misstep, quite a few missteps, but I think her misstep was this sheer amount of shenanigans that she was pouring into like that last bracket of stuff. And again, we don't know what was left on a cutting room floor. We don't know how often, there were just as sweet moments that they chose not to put in there as opposed to her more villainous, more snarky kind of moments. And, as people who understand the machine of Drag Race, that when you play the villain, which she's had that role since day one, that gets you airtime and that brings you back. But there is a fine line between what people are willing to accept and what they're not. And I think that she, was borderline crossing that line of likability.
Her drag.
Yeah, and quite frankly,
at the end of the day, you want your drag to at least outshine your snarkiness a little bit.
And quite frankly, even just her final lip sync against her, on season drag daughter, I felt like her wig was completely wrong. She didn't give a lot of energy in her performance. There really wasn't a performance. It was almost kind of like she knew that no matter what, she was going to be going home. So she just kind of like played it out. In my mind is how I kind of felt it went. So I
give her too much credit.
Oh, that's why I said in my mind, that's how I'm thinking about it. But I think that it ended the way
I feel
they
like she just shat on the whole situation. Like it became a mockery. She wasn't getting her way, and then she threw a tantrum. And that shit is not attractive. That's the line that it crossed. That's just like, it's no longer you trying to make good TV. It's you throwing a fucking tantrum. And it's outshining your drag. And you got your ass sent home because you thought you were entitled to stay there. And bitch, now what? So, and then now here's the thing. If she comes back, now there's this mockery of like, oh, okay, now you done learned your lesson. Now you want to come back. So it's a lose-lose situation for her now. She crossed that line.
There could be a redemption
but she got all those
story
followings, and she has all those clicks and subscriptions and stuff like that. So like she said, she fine. She doing okay. So
she said it. She
said y'all need this money. I'm good. I don't need this money.
Then I would have been like, then take your ass home. Go while you're here.
And she did.
Well, I was like, why didn't nobody call her ass out then?
And where did she go? And she was gone. Yes, she did.
She did.
I just wish, I was like, ooh, Aja. I wanted to see Aja throw hands, though.
And when Aja said that she was high because she got an edible from George's and she was too high to do anything, I said,
maybe that saved her life.
I said,
so did.
Because when she pulled back her hair and went ha 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 in her ear, I was like,
baby. hands, even for me.
I would have. I would. Oh Lord, let me.
I literally was just like, I don't know how they are not fighting right now.
I don't know how they were fighting.
I would have grabbed that bitch by her jowls.
Yeah.
And it would have made that sound too.
On that note,
anything else on your hearts and minds?
it's glad to be back, y'all. It's glad to be
so
back.
good to
I
be
love
back.
y'all.
Yes.
Oh God! And community, hopefully you stay to the end of this episode. Hopefully you subscribe and download and share with your family and friends and all that good stuff. Hopefully your summer is going well, because this shit is almost over. It's crazy to say that. But until next week, wash your hands, your legs, and your ass. We will see you then. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.